And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Paranormal Live with myself, Paul from Host for Ghosts, Angela from South Coast Ghosts. We've got a screenful tonight, so bear with me. Julia from Paranation Ghost Hunted Events. We have Daniel and Jill from Mythical Legends. We have Graham up there, who's a very dear friend to us all on here that gets some really great EVPs, a real good investigator. And back again for another go because they didn't have enough last week is Dave and Ben from Abnormal Paranormal. Say hi. And Paula, who's one of our investigators as well.
Yourself.
I did say myself.
Did you?
Yes.
Yes, you did at the beginning.
See why I'm having a part with her? She tells me that I'm deaf. So welcome everybody. It's a full screen tonight. Obviously, we have Daniel from Mythical Legends and Jill, he's psychic as he calls her, which I should think we should call her Nan. But there you go. That's that's neither near or there. Obviously, Graham's here. Graham's been a big follower of ours for many, many years, and he was a very good friend with Darren. He got some brilliant EVPs. So watch and listen to Graham a little bit later about his EVPs and some stories. And obviously, you're back again because they didn't have enough of getting beaten up last week. With Dave and Ben from Abnormal Paranormal, who were out on the battlefields this weekend, I hear.
Yeah.
So here we are tonight. So that's all of us tonight. So if you have any comments you wish to put on the screen, please send them through. Angela will put them on the screen and we'll try and answer them, or tell us who you are, where you're from, and come in and join us. And all your comments are welcome on here at night. So we're a bit light-hearted. We have a bit of fun. So come in and join us. What we'll do, we'll quickly go to Daniel because he's not sure if he's got to shoot off shortly. So we'll go to Daniel and Jill from Mythical Legends. So over to you, Daniel.
So it's been a while since I've got this one on, hasn't it?
Yeah. I'm so-called babysitting.
Oh.
They won't use that term, but I'm here tonight with them.
So some updates about the conference, and as I have my conference organizer sat with me here, we have been announcing things very, very slowly, and we've announced all of our guests now, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we have announced 8 guest speakers now, which is sorry if you hear any noises in background. I've got 2 dogs and my sister here, so you say.
The dog is trying to get a toy from under a chair.
Don't freak me out. Don't freak me out.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure Graham will come up with a recording. Don't worry.
So
yeah, I'll find you one.
Our guest speakers next year are mainly USA guests that we have coming. So we thought next year we bring the American community over to the UK, and the UK can get to know the American and how they work with paranormal and Bigfoot. So we actually have a mix of paranormal and Bigfoot, don't we?
Yeah, we do this time. Yes.
We have people that work on both Bigfoot and paranormal, and that kind of have done real deep research into some ghosts. And our guest headliner is actually really into ghosts and that kind of thing. So we've got a real mix next year.
Sorry. I'm sorry. It's a real live dog, not a ghost. We also do have a UK paranormal speaker next year, who is Sorry, I think we have to just
having a play.
It's got no respect for technology. Just
No.
jumping everywhere. We have UK speaker as well.
Yeah.
So what we tried to do for this conference was do a well-rounded load of guests, but we're just so pleased that so many from the US have agreed to come over. We didn't think they were, and I think Anna was asking a lot of them, and they've all said yes. So we're like, oh,
amazing.
We've got to
so
accommodate them now.
Yeah, that's so something that I probably said on the last live that we did. So we have the VIP packages. That we've added some more due to 2 guests that we brought on. So 2 guests who's from Portland, Oregon, who wrote a documentary called A Flash of Beauty, and I think we've had they did Bigfoot Paranormal. So there's a real range. We have added some more VIP packages because there's different talks that we got now. But technically, if you buy the VIP package, it turns your 1-day event into a 3-day, doesn't it?
It's a possible 3-day, yeah. Hopefully something for everybody.
Sends a shiver down my spine, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's just a ghost, mate.
Oh, stop freaking me out! No, stop. So our guest speakers, we have 2 returning from last year. So we have Gwendolyn Purcell and Brian King Sharp returning from the US. We have a guy named Ronald Murphy who does some Bigfoot work in Pennsylvania and does his Bigfoot research, and he's had some encounters. We have, you have to remind me now, Michael Cook, who is friends with Gwen, and he works on the paranormal and some of the effects that paranormal can have with Bigfoot, and he also does Bigfoot research out in the forest. He's also appeared on some Travel Channel documentaries as well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We have Ryan RPG Golembeski from Finding Bigfoot and Expedition Bigfoot. Now, he was meant to be there last year, but due to kind of some other things, he couldn't come. But we've got him definitely confirmed for next year, and he will be our guest headliner for next year. And he will be speaking about, again, how he got interested and it was actually Loch Ness that got him interested, and then it was Bigfoot, and then it was ghosts and paranormal. So all our guests, we have made sure that cover most of the cryptozoology and paranormal realm. So if anyone is looking for a wide range next year, I think next year will be the year for it.
Yeah.
We're also having a lot of vendors. I think the count I've got is about 100 now. And we have a massive outside space, which is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, trying to turn it into something that if families come, there's something for everybody. If you're not interested in that, there's something going on, stalls, things for kids, rides, attractions. Trying to turn it into a little bit, fun days for everybody.
Yeah. So, and then we have our Inside Bigfoot event that will be inside the halls, and then we have kind of our we have a movie package, don't we?
We do have a movie package.
We are doing a screening of Legends Meets Science 1 that was created by Doug Hychek and Jeff Meldrum in the Bigfoot world. And we will be doing a screening of Doug's first film, and then Doug will be showing some preview stuff in his talk. And it's where you can come and enjoy and just sit with our guests and enjoy watching the film. And then the only thing that I will say will be, if you buy the VIP package, on the Saturday evening, not only will you get a Q&A with the guests, but do you want to say it?
Afterwards, we actually have collared in some musicians. It's a local band, and so there's just some music and a bit of fun for a couple of hours in the evening with a bar, I think. I hope by the end of the day.
Who could that be, Paul and Angela? Who do you think is performing?
or Billy Ocean, Luther Vandross, you know, Abnormal Paranormal. There could be the boys, Ben and Dave, performing. You know, we don't know. They could be doing a bit of strumming. What about George Formby? Do you even know who that is, Daniel?
No.
No, Jill does. Everybody else is looking on here stunned. Who the hell is George Formby? Graham, I know who he is.
Oh, he's good. Yeah, he's a good bloke. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a local lad. Yeah, he's a local lad, isn't he? Or was.
Yeah.
We could try and summon him up anyway.
No, don't freak me out.
No? Okay.
And our final thing that we'll say is that we have a different realm of Bigfoot guests as well. So anyone who is interested in kind of the flesh and blood kind of camp, I'll say, we have kind of guests for that, don't we? And then we have people who are interested in the more paranormal side. We have those guests as well. So the good thing I like about next year is you've got different people that cover all the subjects in the cryptozoology realm, don't we?
Yep.
So, yeah, if
anybody that wants to come along.
Yeah, if there are any questions at all, if you contact me at mythicallegends29@gmail.com, and you can visit the Mythical Legends website. If you would like to become a vendor, because we've had some kind of questions about that, is you can go onto the ticket website and the slots will be on there. We have an inside slot and outside slot, and the prices and that will be on there. And we may, depending on whether he wants to and whether he's going to behave and not let my tyres down, we may have Paul Howard come back to our event next year to be part of the VIP Q&A. See, you got VIP attached.
Can I not be part of the band? All right, I suppose I'll have to come back then, won't I? What date is it? Can you tell us the location and date, Daniel, please?
Yeah, so the date of the event is Saturday the 31st of May, right?
Yeah.
And
that's the main event.
Yeah. Any VIPs, Winston, stop. You've got Friday the 30th, the actual conference day, the Saturday evening, and then all day on the Sunday. I'm so sorry, my dog's just running around the table. So anything that kind of, if anyone do want to buy the VIP package, just make sure that you book your hotel when you do, because I know that they are booking up very quickly as we've got all the guests now booking up, and we're looking at having about over 20 guests, including special guests, virtual guests, and guest speakers next year. Nice. A lot of work is going to be in it, and the location is Bridgewater, Somerset. So anyone who came to our event last year or has been to one of our events before, it was at the Purple Swings Cafe. But this time we are going to be in Bridgewater, which is just down from Burnham. We will be at Victoria Park. Do you know the postcode off by heart?
No, but I'm sure we can post that.
Yeah, I will post it in the chat with kind of all the postcode details, and we hope.
Nice, thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds like so. For myself and Angela, we went last year. It was good fun. It's a real great time to have. So get down there, get your tickets, get down there. You'll see Daniel in the flesh. He's quite small in the flesh, honestly. But Jill's lovely. Jill's better looking than she is on here. Daniel, well, I'm not so sure, but we might have to do something about that.
Me and you, Paul, need to take the words when you come down.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm slightly larger than you, so you'll be all right. Anyway, thank you for that, Daniel. And go to Daniel Mythical Legends, the website. get your tickets, get down there for the weekend. Children are welcome. There'll be lots to do, lots of activities inside and out. Hopefully the weather will be good, so you can go in and out as and when. Listen to the great speakers that are due, because there are some great people there, very knowledgeable in their fields. So get along there. So get to Daniel's conference and Jill's and see how hard they work behind the scenes, because you miss all that. And Julia could tell you that when you're putting on events, how hard you work behind the scenes, and nobody sees that. They just see what happens during the day and they think, oh, well, yeah, that was all right. But they didn't realise how much actually goes into starting and running a venue and keeping everybody safe. So look forward to that one, Daniel. Thank you for that. Well,
No problem.
yeah. So, Graham.
Hello.
Hi, Christine. So, Graham, tell us a bit about yourself. Hi, Julie. Tell us a bit about yourself, Graham. Yeah.
Oh, I'm retired.
Oh,
That's
Gemma
a
says
start.
hello, Graham. Gemma says
Oh,
hello.
hello,
to you.
Gemma. Hello, Gemma. How are you?
Hi, Sarah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm retired, right, about 2 years ago from I used to work for a residential nursing home company for about 18 years. At 5 homes in Salisbury. They owned 5 homes, and I used to go around doing all the maintenance and stuff.
Okay.
The last 3 months of me working there, started getting all this unexplainable stuff, which was really strange, which was incredible, really. But I never sort of looked for it. I mean, I did in the end. I was taking my voice recording to work in the end. But I had. If I could tell you a couple of stories from there if you want.
Go for it. Yeah, go for it. Let's have a listen.
I mean,
Sorry, Graham.
Pardon?
Do the do the Fort Horsted Screeching Lady, and also do the Little Goat House Lemon in the Glass.
Oh,
They're two of my favourites.
Yeah, I think most people might see that. I suppose. I keep pushing that one. I've been pushing that one 100. I still got it over that lemon. Yeah, well, in the home, right? One of the first things, I was working. Well, I turned up at work about 8:30 in the morning, and I was going around the homes just doing all the checking the rooms and stuff like that, and doing any repairs. And I'd been there the day previous, and I had about 3 rooms to go. So I went in about 8:30, and I was just going to go in one of the rooms, which was a little bit away from the others. And the nurse in charge, before I was about to go in, said, "Don't go in there because the chap that's in that room died 5 o'clock this morning, and he's still in the room. So I couldn't go in there until they'd taken him away." She said, "Come back a bit later, and he'll be gone." Then they're taking him by 9 o'clock. So I goes back about just after 9:15, I suppose. And I went to the room. I went up to the door, and as I got to the door, his male voice said, "Come in." And first thing I thought was, I hadn't even touched the handle of the door. He just said, "Come in." So I thought there must be a carer inside sorting the room out. Obviously, sort of after he'd gone, obviously they go in there, sort the rooms out, open the windows, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I went in the room. Weren't anybody in the room? Not anybody. Nobody. No one alive anyway. And I looked everywhere in that room. There's an ensuite in there, and I looked in there. I looked everywhere. Nobody was in that room, and yet somebody told me to come in. And how they knew I was outside the door, I don't know, because I was outside the door.
Did you recognise the voice, Graham?
It was quite. I didn't recognise. I knew there was a man in there. I knew there was, and he had quite a deep voice. But
right.
I mean, I didn't take it. I mean, I heard was the voice. I went in.
Yeah.
And obviously, like you would do. Of course, he weren't in there, and they said, "Oh, he died 5 o'clock in the morning, early morning."
Wow.
That was one of them. One of the stories from there. I mean, it seemed that in the last 3 months, it seemed to have got worse. Well, not worse, but better for me. but you know,
Yeah.
there was more unexplainable stuff. There's another one. I was doing some again going around the rooms. I walked down this corridor. There was an upstairs bit that goes to an upstairs conservatory, which has been added on there over the years. And there's an upstairs part of the conservatory, which I use as a quiet room. And just before I got to the door opened by itself. Just opened, and this air, like a breeze, really heavy sort of breeze, comes straight through the door and over me, and then that was it, disappeared, gone. And I thought, what was that? You know, like you do. So I went in the room.
What was that?
I looked. I went in the room to see if I could see anything. It was a calm day. It wasn't windy or anything that day. Well, it was quite a nice day, I think. But I went in the room, looked all around the room. There was nothing that could have caused anything like that. And also, the door had a door closer on it. So there's no way the door could have opened with a door closer on. It was a door closer, you kept the door shut. So there was no way that door could have opened unless you pulled it open.
Yeah.
So there's no wind could have blown it open with a door closer on it.
That's
that really
incredible.
got me. I mean, it took me a while to sort of think. Well, I was trying to work out for ages what it could be. And I sat in that room, right, for the next week, having my dinner, trying to ask out and see if I could find anything or see what. Nothing happened. Not a thing.
Nothing
I sat
at all.
around. I thought, no, I just sat in there for like having my dinner. I thought I was going to every dinner, every time. And I took my voice recorder. I didn't have anything. There was nothing. But that one occasion, this door opened by itself, and this this breeze come through, and it was incredible. And
wow,
there's another one. There's a couple more other ones. There's one, but I turned up one morning. This is all at the same home. This is all at the same, and the actual home is a dementia and Alzheimer's home. So we over the years we've lost quite a few residents who we've got to know a bit. So and also with the COVID, we lost quite a few with the COVID as well.
Right.
So there were quite a few residents passed away over the last, the previous year or so.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, or just a general sort of stuff. But we did get to know them. Some of them are really good characters. Really, a lot of them had a good character. And there were some of them, they're all different, and all you get to know all the different characters. Really nice people. Some of them. Some were quite could have been nasty, but there were some nice ones.
Yeah.
There's one. I was outside the home. I turned up one morning about 7:45. Nobody in the car park. This was at the front of the building. My manager's car was parked to the left of the building, and he'd gone off in the van. So I thought, I'm leaving soon. I'll get a nice photograph of the building. So I took a photograph of the front of the building. Never looked at it. I just like to take a photograph. That was it. And about, I don't know, must be about a month later, I was looking through my photos. I looked at this particular photo of the home at the front. There was a figure in the window, the downstairs window. And when I zoomed in, there was only half of him. I can actually share this photograph. I've got a photograph of that, and I can share that with anybody. I can put it on the site, whatever. But there's only half of him. You can't see the bottom. It goes down to the bottom of his shirt, and it stops. There's nothing else underneath. I mean, I couldn't believe that. Yeah, and there was nobody in the car park, and the bloke in the window, the reflection, whatever it was, looked just like my manager. He looked exactly like my manager, but he wasn't there. He was out in the van. So I can't explain that one. Absolutely not. No way can I explain that.
You don't think that was a doppelganger then?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought absolutely it could be some sort of doppelganger incident.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I mean, I shared it with people before. They say, "Oh, it's a reflection." There's a car. There's a car sort of stopping to see all of his body. There were no cars there at all. There was nothing in front of that building. Wow. The only cars in the car park were my car park, which I stood next to taking the photo, and his car was parked in a little space over the left-hand side of the building. That was all that was in the car park.
Wow.
Yeah, trying to convince people is impossible.
I think that's the difficult part of it, isn't it? The paranormal is trying to convince people of what you see, innit, or what you hear, or even convincing people what you do. You know, people say to you, "Why do you do an investigation? Why would you want to go looking for spookies and ghosts?" And it's probably what Daniel says. Why do you want to go looking for them type of people? But it's you can't explain it, can you? Really, the feeling.
No, not at all. No. But yeah,
it's like isn't it?
It's what?
Addictive.
Yeah, very addictive.
Yeah, very.
Oh, you're not kidding. Yeah. My voice recorder is my best pal.
I've noticed that. Some of your recordings are immense, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't believe what we caught up Longshore. I mean, just the last one I caught was King Henry telling me he was following me around.
What voice recording do you use, Graham?
Pardon?
What model
I
voice
use
recording?
I got an Olympus. It's an Olympus digital voice recorder.
Right.
I've had it for about, I don't know, probably about 8 years, 9 years I've had it.
Right.
It's fantastic. Best bit of equipment I got. You know, I mean, if it's the only thing I use. If I catch them, I have no doubt what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
true,
like photographs, you can, but and videos, sometimes you're not quite sure with certain things, but with voice recorders, especially when you're on your own, when you know there's nobody else there, and my dog can't speak, so I mean, me and Sheila, my wife, we go up there sometimes with Harvey. I'm just late. I've been up there loads of times, and every time I've been, I have captured some EVPs there. I've captured voices, whispers. I've had some, really. And I've been trying to work out who's been following me around because I've had that feeling all the time. I've been followed around. And last time I went, he eventually did say it was King Henry, because I said to him, because I started saying Richard. I said, Richard's your uncle, which he is. King Richard I is Henry III's uncle. And he goes, he is. And then I said, are you following us around? Are you walking around with us? And he goes, oh yeah. Just like that. Clear as day. Absolutely clear as day. Oh yeah, he said. And you can hear, thing is, when he says that, if you listen, is that one? If you listen, I think is it the first one? When he says he is, you can hear me breathing in the background. You can hear me breathing the whole time when he says it. So it's some other voice saying that. You can hear me breathing behind it. So
incredible, isn't it?
Definitely, there's only me and him there anyway. Oh, there's only me and him, me and our dog there. There's only me and him, me and Harvey there.
Yeah.
And I do it all the time now. I go up there asking questions all the time, and I've had responses every time I've been.
So you get it every time you go.
Yeah. I get some. I've had. I'll tell you another little story. This is long and short. The main tower for the last 2 years has had a security fence around it. These big mesh fences.
Yeah.
They're joined together. Well, they had it all the way around the tower because the tower was being renovated or done up, whatever. And it was a bit unsafe. So to stop people going in, they put this fencing all the way around. It was there quite a long time, quite a few visits. It was around there. I went there with a couple of mates one night. I was doing a little investigation there, and I had my camcorder. It was facing the tower and the fence. And I had the camcorder running, and then after a little while, I decided to move the camcorder. I had my voice recorder running still though, and I decided to move the camcorder. So I turned the camcorder off, and I moved it to another part of the tower to put it on again. And in that time, from me turning it off to turning it back on again, you can hear somebody hitting the fence, like with a metal stick or metal or something hitting the fence, like you hit a mesh with something.
Yeah.
And it was doing that like for about a minute or so. I actually got it on my voice recorder. I didn't hear nothing. No, I didn't hear it. No, but on my voice recorder, it was on my voice. Obviously, my voice recorder was running. It was on the voice recorder. But it seemed funny that I think that they didn't realise I had a voice recorder or what it was, because as soon as I turned it off, the camcorder off and then back on again, it happened in that time that I turned it off and then turned it on again.
Wow.
How weird is that?
That's very
That is
weird.
crazy.
What do you
And I'll tell
make
you
of that,
another
boy?
even. Yeah.
Yeah, strange. I mean, we've had stuff like that where you turn something off, and then something can happen, and you're like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah. That's why I
that's
keep the
often
voice
the way,
on.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's often the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
You turn or you start a conversation and you think, I just heard something. Why did it wait until I've started so before? Like you say, if you turn it off or you sort of hold your voice recorder to rewind and then you hear something, you think, what's the chances of this happening while I've got everything turned off? So they're very clever, aren't they?
Well, I was lucky because I had the voice recorder running still.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I don't think they realise what technology we got. I don't think they realise some of the things we have.
Yeah, I do. I do wonder that we're asking them to interact with us, and we've had this discussion before. When you're asking spirit to interact, talk to the red light, touch the aerial, do this, to do that. Do they actually? If someone from the 15th, 16th century would they know what an aerial was?
Yeah.
Would they know what the red?
Know what light was?
Well, yeah. What's the REM pod? You're saying, can you touch the REM pod? How do you know? That they don't know what a REM pod is, do they? They wouldn't touch an aerial. Well, what's them lights on the floor? Why are they flashing? So sometimes you sort of wonder, we're asking them to do these things. Do they actually understand what we're asking?
Yeah, weird. Yeah, I got another one at Ludgershall as well, which is to do with the fencing, because I went up there one day, not long ago, and I was walking around. I only had me and Harvey that was walking around. And I got to the top where the tower was, and I thought, the fence is gone. Because what happened was, about I think a couple of weeks before, some kids had gone up there in the school holiday and kicked the fencing over. And some of it was laid on the floor where they knocked it over.
Right.
The rest of it was still up, but some of it was all laid over. And still, like, it couldn't have blown over. There's no way it could have blown. The kids done that. And so I turned up this particular night, and the fence had been taken away altogether. Right. So I thought, I could go in the tower now. First time for about 2 years, I've been able to go in the tower, inside the tower. So I went in the tower, and I was sort of asking questions and asking stuff. And I suddenly thought, right, I said, I can see the fence is gone, right? I said, but can you still make the sound, hit the fencing, like it was there still? And it did. On my voice recorder, I didn't hear anything, but on the voice recorder, you could hear the fence being hit. But there was no fence there.
Wow.
It'd been taken away. But they could hear this mesh being hit, which was really weird. Only because I said, could you, I said, because we've had it hit before, can you hit it again?
Wow.
It did it on the voice recorder. I still can't work out how they knew. I don't know how they would have known if the fencing wasn't there and it still made the sound if the fence had been hit.
Would you think they could be clashing swords together?
I don't know. Well, my way attacking me. It was definitely hit with. It was definitely hit. You could definitely hear the mesh being hit. You can hear it hit a mesh fence. It being hit about 3 times. It did it.
Incredible.
I thought, well,
and that's at Ludgershall Castle. There is that correct?
That's at Ludgershall. Yeah. I mean, I tell you what, you can make a lifelong ghost hunt out of that place.
Really?
There's so much stuff up there.
Don't worry.
I'll do another night one.
Are you going, Daniel?
Yeah, sorry. As you can see, dogs are going mad. I've got Winston Run Table, Miley's. Yeah. So
that's to do with the ghosts in there. That's all right. Don't worry.
Don't you dare.
So we'll leave you with that ghost thought tonight. Good, Daniel, as you sleep.
I'll be ringing you at 4 a.m. in the morning going, Paul, this is your fault.
Sleep. Have I told you I'm deaf? I can't hear my phone ring. Have I told you that one? All right, mate. You take care. See you, Jill. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, Daniel. See you soon. Yeah, sorry, Graham. Boys, what do you think of Graham's stories then?
Yeah, I was thinking about time might be different for them. With the fence gone, it might not be gone for them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So do you see a building as when they left that building is still the same as it when they left.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't know what they're seeing, do you?
No.
Are they seeing it in their time as it would have been, or is it, do they see it as a derelict building? I don't. That's, it's a hard question to answer, isn't it? It's like asking people, do you think spirits can see us, or do they just hear us? What do you think on that, Graham?
What if they see us and just see us and hear us? Yeah, I think so.
Can they see it? Can they see us, or they just hear us?
I think they can see us. I think they're around.
Right.
Because I've had my name said a few times there.
Yeah.
And my dog's had his name said a few times there. Someone's called him a pretty boy. I've had some things with him.
Wow.
But I've had my name said there. So they must know me. I reckon, right? I've been going there so long now, going back, sort of walking around there. I think they get to know you.
Yeah.
I think they've got to know, and they trust you. They trust you to. I mean, I've had no problems in that place. I've had no problems with anything nasty, horrible. It's all been good-natured, good stuff. So it's been really nice. I love going up there. I really love it.
Gemma's put a question.
King Henry was the one that's up there. Yeah.
Gemma's put a question. What I don't get is how do they know us? Hi, Luke.
Hi, Luke. Well, I've done the Ouija board, and if you sort of like say, "Oh, can you point to so and so," or even with a glass, "Can you point to so and so?" They just seem to know who we are, and the glass will go. I say, "Oh, can you go to so and so?" It just moves to them, or this person here. Can you spell their name on the board? I don't know how. They just seem to know, don't they, Graham?
That's because they can see you.
But they seem to know our names. They know nicknames.
Yeah, they do.
Lots of bits.
I think they see you. They're there. They can't see what. Otherwise, it's like us. You go somewhere without knowing anybody, then you get to know people. You get to know names. You get to know who what they're like, who they are. Well, they're the same. I think they see you there all the time. I go there all the time, and they get to know me. They get to see me. They get to know my name. They get to know my dog's name. If you go there enough, I think if you do want, I reckon they get to know you, quite well, really.
I think if you do an event, they listen in, don't they? They must listen in to everybody talking, and like Graham's saying, that they get to know who you are, or put your name to a face, or a name to an energy, or whatever they see. And they can relate that energy to that was Paul, and that was Julia, that was Angela. And it is quite interesting now, like Julia was saying, is when you take the glass to Angela and off it'll go. And you think, well, and you say to them, I don't know whether you boys have ever tried it, can you take the glass to where you're standing? And the glass slides along, and it goes to Natalie, Laura Ann, Grotha. Thank you for coming in. Welcome. She's put, I've heard ghosts have been noticed wandering to random places like through a wall or something, and then the historians have done research on the location and discovered there may at one time been a door or a room there that is no longer visible in today's generation. But back then, the ghosts are living their time, knew that there was a door room there, and it makes sense. I'll tell you a little story about that. We went to a paranormal investigation at the Bugle pub, and I had one of these interactive robots. I don't know if you boys have seen it. The balancing Hi, Sarah. And Sarah will back me up on this because Sarah's the one that watched it. And then I've got one of these interactive robots, Graham, that balances. And if you move towards it, it moves away from you. Or if you gesture it, it comes towards you. And this robot kept going, bumping into the bar, kept going in a circle, bumping into this bar. I'm thinking, why do you keep bumping into the bar? Why do you keep going into that area? And we couldn't work it out. And when we asked the owner, there would have been a door there many hundreds of years ago. There was a door there. So where was the robot trying to get through the door? Where was Spirit taking the robot? So, what she said is true. They just relive it. They see it how they see it, and they can walk through walls or we assume they walk through walls, but we don't know whether they walk through doorways that are there, but not in our time.
Yeah,
it's what they can see, isn't it?
I think. Yeah, a lot to do with how time works in space as well. Like it's different for them.
Yeah, but is there such thing as time in the spirit world? Time is what we make it, isn't it? Time is what we make it.
Yeah.
I don't think there is.
No. So I think that's how they can move around.
Why I believe that.
Yeah,
I
go
tell
for
another story. Why I believe that's true, right? And this is to do with Waverley Abbey.
Oh yeah.
Right now, I mean, I still can't sort of work out how this sort of come about. But anyway, I was at Jamaica Inn. Me and my wife, we went for a ghost hunt in Jamaica Inn. And every time we go there, it's there overnight, I leave a voice squad running. And this particular night, I left it running. And I didn't play it back until I got home, probably about a week later. And on the voice recorder, this voice said, just come out of the blue, clear as day, on my voice recorder, in the middle of the night. It said, did you say James? Right? That's what it said. Did you say James? Clear as day. That's all it was. That's all it said. I was asleep. I didn't hear anything. I was asleep, and it's just like the middle of the night. But it's on my voice recorder. James, right, is one of the ghosts at the pub. James Broad. He's one of the spirits that they do at the pub. Anyway, I just thought, oh, it's just a capture. Good capture, I thought. That's all I thought. A month or so later, because Darren and Julia and all, they went up to Waverley Abbey for a ghost hunt. This is a Halloween. This is on Halloween. So you went up Friday night to a Halloween at Waverley, and we went to a Halloween at Jamaica on the Sunday night, I think it was, or the Monday. Yeah, I think it was a Sunday night or the Monday night.
Yeah.
But I was listening to the recordings from Waverley, and they were calling out. Someone called out the names of the people in the group, saying who they were, and a voice is one of the people, or one in charge, says, "Can you say James?" He said, "Can you say James?" Exactly like the "Did you say James?" But the voices were identical. The voices at the Jamaica Inn and the voice at Waverley were identical. Right, and even the person whose voice said, "Did you say James?" Oh no, sorry, can you say James? Said he thought it was his voice, and he'd never been to Jamaica in his life. And yet, you remember that?
I remember that.
Weird.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, that's why I think the James at the Jamaica Inn was answering, like saying, "Did you say James?" Like, were you talking about me? But how on earth did he interact with something going on at Waverley unless there's no time?
Do you know what might be an idea?
Yeah.
Next time we do a ghost hunt, try and get them to tell us what the time is. You know, it's little things like that we tend to forget, isn't it? Maybe sort of, you know, we do what year are you in? What year are we in? But maybe say, what time is it? What's the time? And see if they can tell us what the time is. That'd be quite an interesting thing to do.
Yeah.
They must. I don't think they have a time. I'm sure they don't. After hearing that, because it used to be 200 miles apart 3 days later.
Yeah.
And it come up in the same. I mean, the voices are identical. If you listen to the voices, they're identical. I mean, it's like the same person was saying it, but
it's weird,
not possible. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. Well, I've had so many things in Jamaica Inn, you wouldn't believe. I can spend all night talking about Jamaica Inn. I'm not going to.
Natalie's, but I wonder if sometimes that they can be trapped living during their era or time and have no concept of what time or generation it is now, like a wandering lost soul, like they haven't passed over yet. That's a very good point. Sarah's put, I think there's a different ghost stone tape that just follows a set route, and others that can see, hear, and work with us. Yeah, you get the stone tape theory, which is, you know, where it just replays it just goes on and on and on. So it's just a replay that's absorbing the fabric of the building. and then you get your intelligent. You know, that's your residual energy, isn't it? That's playing over like a videotape all the time, because they say it's to do with the lime and the concrete and the various things in the house that absorb the energy. And then you, like we say, you get the intelligent one where can you knock once or can you knock twice for yes, once for no, and then you get that interaction. But I wonder whether they hear your voice and then do the command because they hear you, or is it like Graham said, that they actually see what you're trying to do and communicate that way? I don't know, you know, because sometimes you get a voice recording that just blows you away. You think, well, I know that there's not a child in the room. How can a child answer a question? You know, so is it that they hear us? Do they see us as a physical, I don't know, haze? You know, they don't see us clearly. They see us as like a haze, or I know we're all frequencies, we're all energy, but do they see us as an energy source like we see orbs? Do they see us as a energy source? I don't know.
I never been a big believer in this stone tape theory thing.
Right.
Because I think if you can hear it, if you can hear this stuff and see this stuff, it's got to be here and now. You know?
Yeah, true. But why?
Why do we see and hear it then?
Why does it not interact
why doesn't
with
it
you,
happen
Graham?
more often?
Yeah, but if you get an old woman walking down the hallway, and which happened to my brother-in-law one night, she was walking down the hallway and walked straight past him, never acknowledged him, just carried on doing what she was doing. Surely, if that was the case, she would have acknowledged him. Surely she'd have seen him and acknowledged him. Because
but why doesn't it happen more often?
Well, it happened 2 or 3 times, because what the first night it happened was my sister was very ill, and he came out into the house to go downstairs to get her some milk because she's got a really bad ulcers. And as he came out, the old woman was walking along the corridor, and he said, "Excuse me, get out of the way." And she just carried on. He walked through, went downstairs, come up, and she was walking back the other way. But never once I contacted him. He just walked straight past her. And I said to him, "Did you push or shove?" He said, "No, it's just like a very cold breeze, but I could see her." So it was very, very cold, and went back in the bedroom. And this happened for a few months. She was there, but he could never get an interaction or her to react to him. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what anybody else thinks, but she never interacted with him. Is it that she didn't see him, or is it just that it's playing back the fabric over and over again? I don't know.
Maybe it's your eyes.
Well, it's a difficult question, isn't it, really? You think about it. Natalie's put that could be something else to ask them to describe the way can they see us, or who they can see, or describe someone in as much detail as they can during a ghost investigation. Lol, that would be as spooky and interesting to see how accurate. I think that would freak me out if they said you got no hair. I think I'd be freaked. Because if they could do that, you know how close they are. And Gemma's put, sounds like the man in the old-fashioned clothes at Wellington's. Lots of people saw him in the place over a few times. I don't know, boys. What's your take on that type of stuff?
It's a really difficult one to answer, I think. Isn't it?
Do you believe in residual energy? Like Graham's saying, he's not a keen fan on the stone tape theory, or you know what?
Again, we're not sure. We just think spirits are quite more intelligent than we think as well.
Yeah,
they do know a lot about us.
I mean, we've had some mad, really crazy stuff.
Intelligent spirits come through, yeah.
But
yeah,
you know, it's a really difficult question, though.
Yeah.
Lawrence, but I would assume that a time loop. But yeah, that's it could well be that playing over and over again. So, thanks, Graham. We're just going to go to the boys quickly. You were on the battlefield. How did you get on?
Yeah, it was really interesting. The other night, we got K2s going off to start with.
Yeah, we also heard what sounded like an old war horn.
Yeah,
So
that was very
the Battle
weird.
of Sedgemoor is where we were, which is on Western Zoyland, which is just outside Bridgewater.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
the field's in the middle of nowhere as well, so there's no like pollution.
There's no noise pollution,
no traffic.
You have to walk quite far into like the country.
Yeah, down the lane.
Yeah, and that's where you find like the memorial of the battlefield, which happened back in 16th century. Yeah. So
next time you go, try going on YouTube and playing some like music or something from that age era, and see if that can conjure up anything to happen.
Yeah, it was really strange. We heard, what's that? It sounded
it was like a horn,
like a war horn.
Yeah.
But we looked around, but there was nothing around us at all. It was just fields.
No trains going by, nothing. Yeah.
Like, and this was like, what time was it? Like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And there was no farming at that sort of time of night. And
yeah. Did you take a voice recorder with you?
We did, didn't we? Yeah. We didn't get much through on the voice recording. Yeah.
Get anything on the voice record.
Yeah.
So it didn't pick up the horn, or like Graham was saying, it didn't pick up the energy that was there then.
No, but it just felt really like quite uneasy at times.
Yeah, we felt like we were surrounded.
Yeah, it definitely felt like we were surrounded. Like, the energy was really weird. Yeah.
Who fought in the battle?
It was
the English.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
And also it was like the civilization. I think it was like local people.
Yeah.
Like against like the army sort of thing back in those days.
Yeah.
They rose up against the army.
Right, the king was out.
Yeah. So.
And that was the Battle of Sedgemoor, did you say?
Sorry, say again.
That was the Battle of Sedgemoor, did you say?
Yeah.
And that's where the battle took place, is where you were in the field.
Yeah, which is just outside Bridgewater. So if you do go down next year, you could probably visit it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh yeah, we could do. So is there names on the memorial stone then, or is it just it says to the battle, or what's actually on it?
There's about a judge as well, Judge Jeffreys.
You've probably heard of Judge Jeffreys.
He hanged a lot of the rebels. It was like rebels, like.
Shall I tell you a story about Judge Jeffreys? I did a paranormal night. Sarah's put who was the battle with as my guys hate Scottish bagpipes.
I don't think it was Scottish, so fine.
Well, I did a paranormal night at the Old Brighton Police Cells, which is obviously underneath the town hall as it is in Brighton now. And we were there one night, and it was quite an active place. It's on 3 stories, so you have the ground floor, middle, and upper floor. And in the days, it would have been like the police station, the court, and then the justice at the top. So it'd been over 3 levels. And they would, in them days, would have executed people for stealing and all sorts of things. Anyway, we were there one night, and we had lots going on, like people, like a man looking over the balcony as we were down on the ground floor. They were looking over the balcony, but you could see his shape moving around. So we went to the 2nd floor and had a good night there. It was taps and knocks and all sorts of things going on. Really, really good plays. So we went to the 3rd floor, which is the council chambers now. So you got all the round tables and the desk where the councillors sit behind with the hammer. So very early in the night, I went up there, moved the hammer to the other side of the counter, because as you entered, it was on the right-hand side. So I put it on the left-hand side. And then the room, nobody went in the room because we locked the room behind us. So we carried on. And when we went back up there as a group to do some planchette stuff, writing planchette, like we do with Julia. And I noticed that the hammer had moved back to the right-hand side, but nobody had been in the room. So we're standing there, me and a friend of mine, and these people were doing, I've got it on a picture. I'll show you the picture, or I'll send it and you can have a look. So we were standing there in the pews, like they're like half moon type council chambers. And we heard what sounded like a dog growling, like a roar. And I looked at my mate and went, was that a dog? someone got a dog in here, and he looked. He said, that was a growl. I said, yeah, it was, wasn't it? And we couldn't work out where this growl come because there was no dogs there. But as we were looking sort of across the chambers, the lighting colour was going from dark to light, dark to light, dark to light, like a light moving. And I thought, what on earth is this? So I got my phone out, and now, you know, on your phone you get the face recognition box where it moves around to looking for the faces where to take the picture. So I held it straight, and it was moving all around the screen like this. It was darting around the screen. I thought, what on earth is this doing? What's it following? And then it went up to the roof, like where there was a vent, and it went snap and took a picture. And I thought, what? Anyway, we went home, and the guy up the next morning, I was looking through the pictures like you do, you know, listen to recordings. And in the picture, which, you know, you've got to see it to believe this. You know, I'll try and get it on here, or I'll send it to Anne. We'll try and get it to you and show you. Up on the light on the roof is a face of Judge Jeffries. He's got his wig on, his two eyes, and his nose. I think I've shown. I don't know if anybody's seen that. I'll show you. And
Get it out again, and we have a look.
Yeah, I will. And so it's a picture, and up in the vent on the roof is the picture of Judge John Jeffries with his wig on and his regalia, and he was known as the hanging judge.
Probably didn't like it because you touched his hammer.
Well, I think he was growling at me, but this capture honestly was just. I've got it on my phone, and I put it into black and white because sometimes you change your photo to black and white, you get a bit more detail within that black and white picture.
I agree with that.
And when you see it, the breastplate shows a hammer and something crossed on his breastplate, but you could actually see the shape of the wig, the three things of the wig, and his eyes and his nose and his face. But it's up on the light, up on the ceiling, like he was looking down on us. I'll try and send it to you, boys, see, and you can have a look. But when you see it, you'll see people standing there, and look up towards the top of the picture, and you'll see a square light, and slightly to the right, just blow it up and zoom in on that, and you'll see his face there. And that was actually Judge John Jeffries. It was commonly known as the hanging judge.
Yeah.
So
I know he'd done some stuff from the Skirridin as well in Wales.
I think he was Welsh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Sarah's put, I think it was him that ran off to a house in Ringwood where he was taken to die from there. There are blue plaques about it. All right. So interesting story, isn't it? That he was down in your neck of the woods and also in Brighton. But if you go there, the old Brighton police cells is a really good museum. You know, it's well worth going in there, boys. If you're ever around this area, and Graham, if you're ever down that way, go in there and have a look. It's under the Brighton Town Hall, but it's still got the original cells, and it tells you about how they would have executed people. And it was quite a good night there. There's lots of things going on, bottles moving. We even put a laser, like a doorbell light, across the doorway, and it was going ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, like someone was walking backwards and forwards through the door. But we couldn't see anybody. But it sort of made you jump because it would always go when you least expect it, wouldn't it? Yeah. You know, you're in the middle of being quiet, ding dong. You think, what the? But very, very active place. It was a very good night. If I can, I'll try and get it on the chat. I'll bring the picture on the chat. But look at the light at the very top of the picture, and slightly to the right of the light. Just keep looking at it, and you'll see the nose, the eyes, and the head and the wig. And then in black and white, you can actually see the breastplate because the black and white sort of enhances the picture a bit. You know, it's a good way if you've got a colour picture and you're not sure the definition in the picture, convert it to black and white. Like Graham's saying, you can actually start to see the definition in the picture. You know, you take out that blurriness. Have you ever tried that, Julia?
I'm always messing about photos.
I know you do.
Always like cropping and trying to see if I can alter the lighting and things like that. So yeah, that's a big thing of mine.
Yeah, I know you're well into your photos, aren't you?
Yeah, videos. Yeah, so yeah, if I can capture anything, it's you might do hundreds and hundreds of ghost hunts, but you always get that one trophy that you can like show off to everybody.
Yeah. And the other thing, I don't know whether you do this, boys. The other thing Julia was saying is like when you feel something behind you, take a selfie.
Like when you get your phone, as if you're taking a photo of yourself, but take it like over your shoulder.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I did that once. I did that once with Dora, and we had a face between us.
Oh,
We
wow.
both looked at each other and went, "Oh, there's something behind you, something behind us." You know when you get that feeling, and you look round and there's nothing there, but you think, "Oh, I know there's something there." And we took a picture between us, and there was a face right between us.
All right. Wow. Cool.
A real, you think, "Oh my God, it got that close," and you felt it. So it's one of Julia's tricks. Take a selfie. If you ever feel that, just take it. Because I think you might be surprised what's behind you. Gemma's put, I had a selfie at a ghost hunt and have someone
looking over
looking over my shoulder. So it works. Natalie's put, that would be a terrifying selfie. Photo bomb, ghostly heck. No way.
That's what we're out to get. That's what we're out to do, isn't it? We're out to get any
we're
evidence.
Out to get the evidence. Yeah. It's a real good idea, boys. If you ever get a chance, and Graham, I don't know what sort of phone Graham has. But...
Gemma, wasn't he holding? Was it that the one where he was holding your hair?
Holding. Sorry, she's put.
Was that one was that Castle Cottage and he was holding your hair? Is that the one?
Yeah.
I remember that. Yes, I remember that. Oh gosh, yes, I remember that one.
That's a real good tip, like from Julia. Boys, if you ever think, it could also work for you, Graham. I don't know what type of phone you got when you go to the castle, whether you feel something following you, whether to take some pictures over your shoulder or behind you. Have you ever thought of that?
I don't take any photos. I don't take photos up there. I just use. What I do is walk around with my voice recorder. I never take photos. Yeah. I never do anything else. I see it, just voice recording. Up there. It's in the daytime as well. So.
Yeah.
Dominic at once, didn't you? You got PC Dominic at Widley.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah. I know. I take lots of photos. Yeah. No, I say I don't take photos. That's another show. When I go, I do everywhere else, but another show. I don't. It's in the daytime, mostly daylight anyway, so I can bother.
We're still there, Brian. Still chatting to you.
PC Dominic. You say?
Yeah. Maybe next time you go down to Ludgesall, take some photos. When you go to Ludgesall, you might.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it might be worth it. Yeah, I just say, just go there, walking the dog, and that's it, really. Just talk as I go around, basically.
Gemma says Graham was one of the people that made me love ghost hunting. Oh, that's very
thank you,
sweet,
Gemma. And you're still there doing it like the rest of us, eh?
She's still getting freaked out, Graham. I can assure you that.
It was. I remember Gemma saying it was one of the things she was a bit frightened of doing. So she did amazing.
She's a bit brave now.
She's very brave. She's very brave.
She gets some really good stuff as well.
She does.
She captures good stuff.
We were at Fort Widley, and we had a laser light grid on the end of a tunnel, and I was there with myself, Gemma, and a few others. I can't remember who else was there, and we were asked in spirit if they could come along and do all sorts of things like you do, and I think we said, can you turn the laser lights out? Can you turn them off? And they instantly went out. And like Gemma's going, oh my God. And it literally went, just turned them straight off. Gemma, I'll tell you, she was there. And, me and Gemma went, wow, okay. We didn't really know what to say to that because they did what we asked them to do. It was just very, very good there. That's a very good place. What else did you get, boys, while you were out in the battlefield?
We went on the Ouija board again, and got.
That's our best way of communicating. The best way we get through communicating is through the board, usually.
Yeah, because we have the same spirit come through.
Honestly, this spirit knows everything. It's the strangest thing. I don't know what sort of connection we have with this spirit, but we ask it so many different questions, and it just comes up with the answers for it every time. It's the strangest thing.
It is, yeah.
And we're still trying to learn about it, and obviously at the same time.
Do you think he could be one of your spirit guides?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. That's what we thought it was Ben's spirit guide.
Because it knows a lot about both of us. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you asked it?
Yeah.
Are you one of our spirit guides?
Yeah, we've asked, it's there to help us, protect us.
We've asked so many questions. Yesterday, we were just on that board for so long. It was just mesmerising. The only way of explaining it is though we were talking to someone who sat with us, but we couldn't see them.
Right.
And for to try and tell, so for I've told my dad about it. My dad's the biggest skeptic out ever, and
same as mine.
And would never believe me. And when people say to you, "Well, you're obviously moving that," but
it's not.
We've never ever.
We wouldn't lie about it.
We'd never lie about that sort of thing because it's just. Yeah. We've always gone into investigations really open-minded, and that's what we want to find out what there is.
Yeah.
And obviously,
there's no point in faking it, is there? Because you're just faking yourself. You're faking it for yourself, aren't you?
Yeah. It's just totally pointless. But we get so yesterday, it was so strange. We were just having a full-blown conversation.
Really strongly as well. Right?
Really strong.
The way it moves.
And it's so intelligent. It spells everything right.
Names,
names right, everything. So we're going to investigate next Sunday. A colleague who I work with called Sarah, her parents passed away, and over the past few years, and basically she's selling their house, and her dad built that house. So she's been asking me for ages before I sell the house. Go in now. I'd love to see if you can contact, my mum and dad or something, just to see. I think it's for her a farewell sort of thing with the house. Obviously she grew up, there. So we're going there next week. And when we were on the board last night, I asked, where are we going next week to investigate? We didn't speak about it whilst we were in the battlefield. I just said, where are we going to investigate next week? And it's spelled out Sarah.
Yeah, and I forgot the name as well,
which is
I didn't
just so strange.
It's
just surreal. It seems to know
everything,
know things about us
stuff that we don't even know.
That we don't know either. It's just.
Does that not worry you?
Doesn't worry me, no, because I've never felt like I've been in danger or anything, and I feel quite comfortable talking to whatever it is as well. I think it's
Graham, what's your take on Ouija boards? What the boys were saying. What's your take on that?
I don't do Ouija boards.
Right.
No reason, no particular reason. I just don't do it. But
is it that you don't trust them, or what? What is it?
I don't know. I don't like too many people around. I like to know that what's happening is just me. There, if you know what I mean. Sort of if you get too many fingers, too many hands, too many voices around, that's why I like to go off do things on my own. And sit somewhere in the quiet where I know there's nothing else to sort of contaminate any of my recordings. Basically, that's why I do it. I mean, you can't do EVPs much in a crowded room. Although saying that, I did one last time. We went to Jamaica on our way on holiday last month. And I recorded over the dinner time. We went for a drink on the way to Bude. We stopped in Jamaica for an hour, and I had the voice recorder running. There's a lot of people in there, all having Sunday dinner, lots of noise, lots of this, but I could hear, and when you hear a whisper, know when you hear a disembodied voice. I had my name said 3 times. I had my name Graham said 3 times, and Bentley said 3 times, just separately. And then I had a leave Bentley at the end. It said leave Bentley. Now, I mean, I've been there loads and loads of times, so they must know my name.
Yeah.
They remember. It's like it was yesterday. They remember my name. So I think they do remember you, they do know it. Yeah, it was weird because they said my surname 3 times. They said my surname and my first name about 3 times as well. in an hour. It's been there an hour, you know.
Yeah,
but
incredible,
sometimes it pays to run the voice line everywhere you go. I mean, to be honest.
Well, yeah. I mean, I got some. I seem to be quite good with EVPs. I've seemed to catch some quite good ones. You know, at the Groundings Theatre, we caught a little child's voice.
That's good, yeah.
You know, when we were saying, you know, where are you? And it said, you could hear it said on the stage. He said, "What are you doing?" I think we heard it, Julia, didn't we? You remember? I said to you, "You've got to listen to this," because, and then it said, we said, "Where are you?" And it clearly said on the voice recorder, "On the stairs."
It did.
Right.
And I
we
think
were
that
like,
was
"Oh my God!"
very, very first place that I met Graham.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Was that the first when we first met? Was at the Groundings, which was
that was the first ghost. That's the first ghost I ever did.
Big pram, wasn't there? There's a big pram there, and
yeah,
got
the
this big
pram
going.
Yeah. Oh, if it hadn't been for that, I think I don't know when I'd have carried on. But we had so much stuff that night. I just couldn't get. I just had to go keep going back.
Well,
we had some good stuff there.
We were at Chepstow Mullet Prison in the execution. We were in the execution chamber at Chepstow Mullet, and we had Sarah's name come through. She said, "Can you tell us who's in the room?" And you could hear Sarah, Sarah, not sort of Sarah. It was spread, sort of Sarah.
Yeah.
And we all said, "Did that just say Sarah?" So that, you know, that was a good capture. And Gemma's put, "I wonder why we can hear on recordings more than in there and now, because it's a different frequency that they're talking on, Gemma. You know, we can hear a certain frequency. That's like my Philips voice tracer. If you look at the ins and outs, it records from 50 hertz to 55,000 hertz. So it's got a massive hearing range in frequency, where sometimes like Graham's saying, it, if it's very, very quiet and you're really switched on, sometimes you can actually hear the answer, you know, audibly. You'll hear a yes. You think, did that just say yes? Yeah. Or did I just hear? Graham will back me up on this. He probably gets it at a local shop where you actually hear it, you know, because they get it to your frequency. But the voice recorder, because it records at such a high and low frequency below and above our hearing range, and that's how we hear it. Otherwise, sometimes we can hear it audibly, and I've heard it myself, thinking, did I just hear someone call? You know, and it's like that when you're on your own or you're doing something, you hear someone say, "Julia," and you turn around, there's nobody there. You think, who's calling my name? And I often hear someone go, "Paul," and I look around and say, "Yeah," and there's nobody there. But what have I just heard? I've just heard my name called, you know, and you think, why did I hear that? And I often say, like, "Yeah, you called me. What do you want?" You know, it's got to be, and you hear Paul, and I often get it, you know, because I'm generally the last one out of the workshop at night, so it's very quiet, all the machinery's down, and I hear Paul, and I said, "Yeah," thinking someone's still there, and I'm looking around thinking, well, hang on a minute, there's nobody here. And as I'm walking across the workshop to go up the stairs to get changed, Paul, I'm thinking, who keeps calling me? You know, and so we can hear it, Gemma. Sometimes you can hear it audibly if you're really quiet.
I had that here at home.
Did you?
Yeah. Somebody said I was. Yeah, I was here. Sheila taking the dog out for a walk, and I was in the kitchen, and somebody called Graham, and I thought they'd come back. And I went to the front door. They hadn't come back. They're still out. They'll just be on my own in the house. They heard my name's Graham said. So I don't know who it was or why they said it, but there was nobody in the house but me.
My daughter, sometimes I call her and then she goes, "Oh, mum." And I was like, "No, I didn't call you." But yeah, she's heard her name being called here.
Have you heard that voice before?
The one we heard last week?
Well, have the boys heard their names being called at any time and you can't explain it?
Oh,
well, I mentioned last week at the Ram when we went to the ancient Ram Inn, when we were in the attic that time, and we both heard in time someone say my name.
Yeah.
And it was just the strangest thing.
Weirdest thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was in real time. You actually heard, you both heard it in real time.
So clear as well.
it's like Gemma's put. So if actually you hear it, does it mean that the spirit's stronger? I think my personal view is when you go on a paranormal night, you know, one of your senses is taken away, isn't it? Your eyesight's taken away because you're in the dark. And I think your other senses become more heightened. Your hearing, your touch, your feel, your smell. You know, it's like blind people, isn't it? They have such a sense of hearing and touch. You know, so if you lose one type of sense, which is then a paranormal night would be your eyesight because it's so dark, I think your body naturally it starts to enhance your hearing because you're starting to listen, you're starting to hear. And I think sometimes you're so heightened to that area that you actually hear the answer to your question. Does that make sense? Anybody? Does anybody else feel differently about that?
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Do you think that's how it works? Because you're much more heightened in the dark. I mean, we tend to get much more heightened, don't we? Because when you're in the dark, you're a bit more on your guard, aren't you? Because you can't see what's coming. So is it that we switch to our hearing and allow our hearing to hear more, or we tune into the, I don't know, would you call it atmosphere, or would you call it the frequency within the building? Because you've lost that eyesight, your hearing becomes much more attuned to what's going on because you're trying to hear if someone's coming rather than you being able to see.
Yeah, possibly. I think. Yeah, I agree with that a little bit. Yeah, to be fair.
Just a little bit. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? That's harsh. Right. Is there any other questions, Angela? Sitting there lovely and quiet, look. So we've done an hour and 16, so thank you so much. Thank you, Graham. It's such a pleasure to see you as usual. And we'll be
next week. I'll try to be on the screen again.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
we'll be at we'll go up one day to Lugger Shore, and I'm sure you'll take us up there and show us around.
I'll tell you what, it'll have a great time up there. We've been up with Julie. The group's been up, hasn't it, Julia?
Yeah, we've been up there
years ago. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Do you remember when we got there? We couldn't get our flash cameras to work. None of the flashes worked. We couldn't take any photographs. It was pitch black. We couldn't get nobody's flashes could take a photograph. And then suddenly we could take one.
I think
one of my some weird photographs up there.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I could easily dig out a handful of my weird photos from there. But I remember we also did Coombe Gibbet in Newbury, and we're right up the top. Were you there, Graham? And it was actually snowing. There was snow, and it was so cold.
It was freezing. We've never been so cold in our entire life.
we couldn't even get the glass or anything to work because our hands were so cold. We're like, oh, let's give up. It's too cold. It was snow and everything.
Hardened ghost hunters, snow and everything.
We went to the pub after, didn't we? We all went to the pub.
We did. Warm up.
That pub's closed now.
Has it?
That pub's shut.
Two Poplars or something. Was that? Yeah. Oh, right.
I don't know. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's closed. That pub there.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. Nice pub.
Yeah, lovely.
So
very nice pub. Yeah.
Any of you around, pop up, go and see Graham at Ludgershall Castle. He'd be the man walking around calling out if he's on his own. He's not mad. Yeah. He's just doing ghost hunting.
Yeah. I might get a little job up there actually. They're advertising for volunteers to work up the castle. Go around tidy, keeping it tidy. I thought I might do that.
Yeah.
Because I can do EVPs, I can do little stuff at the same time. I love that.
Work and play.
I might do that.
We like that. We like that.
I know all the staff.
So just a great big thank you, Graham, for coming on tonight. Please do come back next week and join us again.
I'll be next week. Don't worry, I enjoyed that. Yeah, it's good.
And
it's nice to see myself.
Your stories. Well, I never want to see myself, but there you go. Someone has to. So it's a real pleasure to have you on and listen to your stories. And boys, what are you up to this weekend?
Yeah. Oh no. My car's off the road at the moment. I'm getting it repaired, so I can't go anywhere. So I can't. So the first chance I get, I'm going up Ludgershall Castle.
Right.
Yeah. I might go there this week, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah.
With any luck. I've got some questions to ask. Every time I go up there, I ask more questions.
Yeah. You get more inquisitive, don't you? That's the thing. You want to know more, want to learn more.
Well, every time I go, there's something I have to ask next time. It just goes on like that.
Yeah. So, David, Ben, what are you up to this weekend, boys?
So we're going to obviously my colleague's parents' place to investigate on next Sunday. So it'll be interesting to see if we can get anything from.
Be careful. Yeah.
Mainly for her, you know. So So she's asked us to do it.
Just be careful.
Yeah, of course.
not that anything bad will happen, but just be on your guard, because obviously when you're using a board, you're opening a form of communication with spirit.
Yeah.
So you know, be on your guard. Watch the board.
Yeah.
Julia, what's coming up next for Paranation events? Shore House, isn't it?
Oh, we've got our Halloween spectacular at the end of the month. The last Saturday of October. We're over at Shore House just outside Newbury, and this is our third Halloween on the trot that we're there. So great place. I think it used to be an old school. Lots of stuff we've had going on there in the past. So always a good time. Always have a good time there. And that's where we are. Oh, it's a couple of weeks, isn't it? Time's flying.
Yeah.
That's sold out. That's sold out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those madness ones where people were booking on it last October to go October. No, sorry, people were booking on it beginning of November to go October 2025. So absolute madness. Even like June, the Oxford Castle sleepover that we're doing in June, people were booking on that June 24 to go June 25. Absolute madness. But thank you, everybody. It's, appreciate every booking, everyone that comes. You're all there to help us get activity and see what's there.
Yeah. And just finally remains for me to say congratulations to yourself and Angela for your night shine walk. You did it well, you did it proud, and you made some good money. Angela, how much have you made so far now?
We've done
What's
really
the total?
well.
Yeah, it's just over 2,000, isn't it?
Is it? Done really well then, haven't you?
And that was 10 of us did the walk. It was 10k in Southampton. We had to be there for about 7:30. We kicked off about 20:15. It was, Angela.
Yeah.
And I think we finished about 10:15. Absolutely exhausted. The only thing that kept me going was thinking about what I'm going to eat after the walk. That's the only thing that kept me going. And by the time we finished, we just had to jump on the train because it was coming up. I think our last train was 11 back to where I live. So we just sort of got our trains and went back. So there wasn't even time to have like a quick sneaky cheeky drink afterwards. So it was just literally on the train and back, which is a bit of a shame because we could have done with one.
Yeah. So well done, Team Paranation. We're all very proud of you, what you've done and what you've raised. So well done, all of you, Gemma, Ryan, Ian, and all the crew. Well done. Yeah. Big clap for you lot. Well done. Done us very proud. Thank you, boys, for coming on tonight. We'll probably see you next week. Is that right? Is that okay?
Yeah, we'll come on and obviously we'll let you guys know about what happened on the.
Yes. Yeah.
Look forward to hearing that.
Nice to see you again, Paula. You sat there nice and quiet. Look like you're half asleep.
No, I am tired actually. Have you heard any more about that house, basically, with the people with the shoes? Have you had any more update on that? Oh, you have. Oh, next week then.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it next week. Really interesting case. I've stumbled across something that I've been researching with the house and the area it's in, and all the stuff it's where it is, and I think we might have stumbled on something.
Oh, can't wait.
But it's a little teaser. You know, when all these asylums were built, they all had a water tower in all of the asylums, didn't they? Why do they knock down the asylum but never the water tower? Why is it always left standing? There's a teaser for you next week. Think about that one. And I could tell you a little bit about, obviously I have to be careful what we say on because we're on air, but we may well have stumbled on something, but there's more activity at the house now because the veil's getting thinner, isn't it? And like me and Jen have been talking about it most nights, isn't we? Trying to work out, what to do and where we're going with it. But obviously coming to the 31st Halloween, the veil's very thin now, isn't it? So, but she's saying more is happening more often now coming out. It seems to be more this month. So stay tuned and we'll tell you next week we'll tell you the bits and pieces about it, but interesting investigation.
1st of November.
What's that?
Paranormal special at Horsham Church.
Oh yeah, we're doing a paranormal special at Horsham Spiritual Church, November the 1st. So if you're in that area, come down. It's a very active, haunted church hall.
It's a Masons.
It's a Masons hall. And when we did the one last year, was it last year?
Yeah, I think so.
We had the doors rattling while we were doing the talk a bit about the equipment. We had the fire doors rattling and tap, knocks, and a lot of people going, "What's that? Oh my God, there's a noise. What's that?" And the fire door handles were rattling while we were talking. So it's quite an active place. So 1st of November. If any of you,
only £15 a ticket.
If you want to come down there, come down, join in, because we stay on late. And right opposite is one of the oldest graveyards known. It's called the Doomsday Graveyard. And it's the first ever recorded graveyard ever known. Hence why it's called the Doomsday Graveyard. And you can actually walk over there and have a look.
And Paul and I will be doing some mediumship to start the evening off. I might be doing spirit art as well. So
if you're around, come down, join in.
Quite a good evening.
Yeah.
There's a Friday evening. That's the only thing.
It's a Friday. So no going to the pub, Graham.
What pub? What pub's this? What pub's this?
It's the Horsham Spiritual Church. You go to a pub all the time. Anyway, it just remains me to say thank you, Graham, for coming on tonight. It's been a real pleasure. And boys, again, a real pleasure. Thank you for your interaction and your story in the battlefield. Paula, Julia, myself, Luke, it's good to see you back on here, mate.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
we missed you last week. Your smiley, chatty self.
Yeah,
we missed that. Me and Angela have had to fill in last week.
Yeah.
And well done, Angela, for your walk, and I hope you eventually get your legs back to normal. So it only remains for me to say thank you for all your comments and joining in, Sarah and Gemma and the other lady. I forgot your name. Sorry about that. But thank you for coming in and your comments. We really appreciate you watching us. And we'll be back next week with some more tales from the unexpected, no doubt. So come back next Monday and join us, 8:15 for our Monday Night Paranormal Live. And so we'll say good night. Have a safe week. And we'll see you all next week.
Good night from me, Jen.
Bye. Bye.